Welcome to The Layers We Live, a podcast that explores the connection between reproductive mental health and mental health, identity, grief, and healing. I'm your host, Dr. Loree Johnson, therapist, trainer, reproductive health advocate, and fellow traveler through life's layered experiences. Whether you're navigating a part of your reproductive journey like infertility, pregnancy loss, or parenting after loss, or whether you're facing the complexities of mental health, identity, and trying to feel like you belong in a world that doesn't always make space for you, this is a place for you. Here we honor stories that shape us, the pain we carry, and the strength we discover along the way, especially in a world that's always shifting and not always in a just way. So take a breath, know that you're in good company, and let's unpack those layers together. Hi, and welcome to the very first episode of The Layers We Live. Today I'm going to share a little bit about how this podcast came to be, what it's about, who it's for, and what we can expect moving forward together. I created this podcast because some of you may know me from my Instagram community, but I felt like I needed a little bit more space to talk about some of the layers that are just kind of hard to get into when you're in such a confined space. And I really wanted a space to talk about some of the nuances that we often kind of go through when we're kind of going through some of the hardest parts of our lives. So many of us are carrying things that we just don't talk about. There's a quiet grief, unanswered questions, and stories that just don't fit the mold. And yet so few of our spaces speak to those experiences with honesty and nuance and care. So I felt like we needed more space to hold the complexity of what it means to live in a body, in a family, in a community, in a world that doesn't truly see all of the parts of who we are. And that's what I hope that The Layers We Live will become for you. It's a space to feel seen. It's a space to be in process. It's a space to not have everything figured out. And it's a space where all of the messy parts of ourselves are welcome. This podcast is not about quick fixes or neat conclusions, although I do hope you will walk away with some meaningful tips. But it's about honoring our full story, and especially the parts that often go unspoken. We're going to talk about things like grief that doesn't go away, talk about infertility, we'll talk about mental health and depression and anxiety, what it's like to live in this space and time when our government is going through what it's going through and things feel so uncertain. And we'll talk about what healing looks like. How can we really create that for ourselves in the midst of so many things that are shifting every day? We're going to explore how our personal experiences are shaped by our families and the communities within which we live, and also how our identities are deeply intertwined with all of these things that we're navigating. And this space is going to center stories from women, Black women, women of color, folks who are navigating layered identities. And for those who've been told that some part of their story is too much, but we're going to be here to tell the truth and hold that space. So a few things that I hope that you'll walk away with from today is, number one, give yourself permission to be in the process. You don't have to have it all figured out. And regardless, you deserve support. I want you to also notice where you've been silencing yourself. What parts of your story feel too much to say out loud, too much to share with people that you care about. Because those are the places, the parts of ourselves that often need the most compassion. And lastly, I want you to start with where you are. Whether you're tuning in from a place of grief or quiet curiosity, you're welcome here. You don't have to qualify to belong. So thank you for being here. I hope you stick around. Next week, I'm going to be talking about parenting after infertility or loss and what it means to hold both grief and growth at the same time. Until then, please take good care of yourself. Be gentle. You're not alone, and know that you don't have to carry every layer by yourself. Thank you for joining me on The Layers We Live. If this episode resonated for you, I'd be honored if you shared it, subscribed, and left a review. It really helps others find the space and get the support that they need. And for more resources and reflections, please visit me at drloreejohnson.com, and that's DRLOREEJOHNSON.com. Or follow along on Instagram at Dr. Loree Johnson. And remember, your story matters, your healing is yours to define, and you are not alone in the layers you carry. See you next time.